It's funny because I was just going to sign on by noting that I don't have much time, and as soon as I open my phone, I see a text from my dad saying that he hopes I'm getting ready because we have to leave at 4:30. It's 4:04 p.m. on Wednesday, the 13th of May, 2026. I just got back from a pretty crazy bike ride, and unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to do this one as quickly as possible. Which, maybe that's good. Who knows? I just had a really, really good bike ride. It was really hard. I think this is one of my list notes. Shout out to Art. I had this moment where I was biking, and I did about 3 hours of mowing today. I think it was an hour and a half of moving time, but 3 hours outdoors doing stuff for mowing. And I think I'm the only person that I know, and then Art came to mind, that would do 3 hours of yard work and then go on a 10-mile bike ride to relax. I just thought that was funny. I was like, dude, like what I wanted to do after finishing mowing the grass, I so badly wanted to sit down and just relax in the shade like I am now. But there was that other part of me that was like, yeah, but even with all the friction of possibly having to motivate myself into biking, like I know that it will be a good ride. I can just kind of tell, most of the time I can just tell it's going to be a good ride. To be fair, I don't even know what would classify as a bad ride, honestly. I don't think I've ever had a bad ride. Like, I'm sure that's hyperbole, because there's no way that's true. But I can't ever... Okay, well, you know what I can say fairly? I've never gone out and biked and then come back to wherever I was to say to myself that I wish I hadn't done that. I don't think I've ever gone on a ride and then at the end of it said, I wish I hadn't done that. So that I can say pretty clearly. And, again, shout out to all those who know that feeling. Hey, shout out to my dude, Gabe, for that matter. Yeah, 10-mile relax. Okay, there's like some weird, I was typing, it was so difficult to type. I don't trust that my headphones will work well when I ask Gemini to make me notes. I just have had so many bad experiences of it not working, and it's such a waste of time because I would have rather just tried to type something just to get it on the page than to actually have to that it just doesn't get created at all, which is what typically happens when I use Gemini with these headphones when I'm biking. And so some of these might be a little hard for me to understand what I meant. First of all, I'll start by saying I was listening to that same Tigran Hamasyan song just on repeat the whole time I was biking. It was amazing. AI, again, I was on the end of the last episode. Hey, if you play your cards right, maybe I'll put it at the end of this episode too. Lord knows, it's the only song I've been listening to for the past 2 days. Like, I don't have any musical taste for anything other than this song, and it was kind of unfortunate because I did download the full album, and I listened to it, and I wasn't really taken by it. I love Tigran Hamasyan, but I think... From what I remember listening to him when I first got into him, which was when I first worked at MailChimp and had a desk job, it was really good music to listen to while working. But for biking, some of the things that are just a little bit too ballady and a little bit too slow, I'm just like, I can't wait for the next energetic song. I downloaded this from YouTube, so it was like, it's one single track. It's the whole album, on one track. And so I can't really skip forward or anything because I don't know where anything is. So I just have to listen to the entire album if I ever want to listen to any of it. And it didn't really take me. And I kind of anticipated that. I think there are very few artists, unfortunately for me, just based on the way I was made, where the artist is so good that I will immediately love whatever they release as soon as they release it. It's precious few. I think Tesseract might be one of the only bands where I've listened to every album, and every album met my criteria of being really excited about that album, as if it was all of a sudden my favorite album just purely because I finally got to listen to it, whereas other songs and stuff like that, I don't know. I go through certainly musical ebbs and flows where don't know, something. I'll just see something. Honestly, I hate to say it, but YouTube has actually been one of the primary sources of artists that I've ended up liking over the course of the years. Back when algorithms in my day, algorithms didn't have no agenda. They just served you content similar to what you were already digging, my dude. You know what I'm saying? Early days of, well, I mean, not that early days of YouTube. I do remember the early days of YouTube. Those were crazy. Like, it's hard to believe that I ever was able to sit on a desktop computer in my parents' basement and watch YouTube videos with no commercials. Like, that doesn't even seem like that ever actually happened. That feels more like a dream. So, anyway, yeah, as for the Tigran song, like, I just listening to it so hard, like, and by that I just mean, like, intensively, or I was intentionally listening to it, like, listening to what Matt Garstka is really doing on the drums, and, you know, the piano is pretty far. I can't even hum the main melody properly in time or in key. But the drumming, I'm just like, wow, this is like, talk about intentionality. Like, one of the things I thought about while listening to it today was that, like, so I suck at drumming, right? Especially compared to Matt Garstka. But if I was jamming with Tigran and he was doing something like what that song is, the thing that I would probably do would be to lean heavily into using cymbals, like crash cymbals, to kind of hide the mess of my inability to coherently drum to the beat that he was making, you know? And so when I was listening to the song today, I was like, wow, like, Matt Garstka did not do that at all. He's actually, there are times where I feel like I want to hear a crash cymbal just for emphasis or something, but he's holding back, like, the entire time. The only times he uses, like, crash cymbals or China cymbals that are, like, you know, big and loud and sonorous, is it, like, during the breakdown, which was another cool part of the song that I realized today was, like, the way that Tigran uses, well, I guess Tigran's guitarist and Tigran's bassist, maybe, like, they, during the really, really heavy breakdowns, they are just playing the exact same note that the bass line of the piano is playing. And so you just have, like, this really heavily layered, fuzzy, like, crazy textured chord that's just being, like, simultaneously repeated by these three different instruments at very different, like, sonic levels. Oh my god, I'm getting invaded. Let's see what's up. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. Okay, I think I can probably, God, I guess I could quickly get through this one. I know I'm gonna forget. So there's a part of my ride where I go by this specific cow and calf, and they're always together, and I don't know why. Oh my god, dude. Lol, again, shout out to my parents. So I was thinking, trying to understand what this cow and calf combination was. I was like, well, maybe the farmer, like, keeps this cow with calves because, first of all, I don't know, I was thinking like of a milkmaid situation where it's just, like, constantly able to produce milk. But then also maybe it was like a cow that had, like, let's say that the this fantasy is hilariously convoluted, but, like, say that a group of cows got attacked by wolves, and the wolves killed every calf except for one. And then the farmer thought that it was the only cow that had tried to defend the calf, and so he's like, oh, this is like, the maternal instinct of this cow is, like, a cut above the rest. And I was thinking about that because it's just like, you know, saying that there's such a thing as an honorable cow. maybe there are. Hey, you know, it's in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. But it's such a funny anthropomorphism because, like, my thought was like, well, you know, as another possible explanation, maybe by the time they got to that one calf, they were, like, already full or had sustained some kind of attack that they needed to retreat from the cows from. Like, there's so many explanations, like the Occam's razor ones, that have nothing to do with like nobility or I don't even think, I mean, when most people are pressed, when most things are pressed, I think that we're just purely reactive. Like, that's the hardest time in the world to ever be like a truly moral or ethical thing. It's like when the chips are down, that's when it's like, you see what you're made of, you know what I'm saying? I saw a rattlesnake on the road, on the ride as well, and someone had, it looked like it had sustained specific head injury wounds and not strictly just being run over. And I just got to think that some person saw it going across the road, and they thought that it should die because it looked like a rattlesnake, you know? And I was like, you know, I've been in the woods a lot in my life, right? And because of skill or luck, who has any idea what percentage in either corner, like, I have never been hunted by anything or otherwise pursued. And, you know, that's not to, I really think that that's just more luck than anything. But one thing I can say quite confidently, regardless of whether or not it's objectively true, is that in my experience, at least, when you're in the woods, nothing is coming for you. Like, respectfully, like, that's just been my experience. Like, so I just was looking at this rattlesnake and I was like, well, I got to tell you, if you are afraid that snakes are aggressive, one definite way to confirm that suspicion would be to attempt and kill it. Because, like, snakes, by and large, I think that they are not going to try to do anything to a human being unless you are purposefully agitating them or, like, basically surprise them, step on them, something like that. They're pretty docile, you know? Like, and, you know, animals intuitively know, like, size and scale, and, like, they know that they can't eat a human being, and so, like, that's not part of the prey they're going after. Like, it's just another funny anthropomorphism. So, yes, an honorable cow, indeed. So, since I have to do this, I thought that I would allow myself to trespass into forbidden self-indulgence and talk about something that is just strictly self-indulgent. You know, I didn't start getting tattoos until I was 29, and I also didn't really have a meaningful relationship with, broadly speaking, I suppose, mathematics until 35. So I'm a little bit of a late bloomer, you know. And so I thought that it would be fun for me to talk about, like, why I love software development. Since I am in the process of, like, applying for jobs and stuff like that, it is a little bit more front of mind, like my time at work, the way that I can market what I've done, what I can do, and all those kinds of things, you know. Like, typically, I mean, I think, I feel like I typically think about myself primarily, other people. Ooh, I don't even know. I thought I had a clearer idea of how, like, my mental, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say that in general, if I'm not actually actively looking for a job, me thinking about it usually is like fifth in line for my attention, because I'm just, like, usually not really thinking about that stuff. But I have been thinking about it, and I have been thinking more and more about, like, why I actually am trying to go back into the tech field. Like, I didn't really get burnt out on tech, you know. It wasn't really the culture that is specifically attributed to the tech industry that really pushed me out of the job that I had. You know, it was just that I felt like I had come across this amazing thing, which in this case was software, like in-house software development, that we were actually encouraged to use. And, you know, now listening to all these reports on, like, the Moonshots podcast, it sounds like a lot of tech companies are actually including your AI usage as part of your metrics for evaluating your yearly, you know, performance. And, like, I was in an environment where I felt like no one was interested in utilizing those things. And I had such a powerful experience of going through the entire development process of creating very, very basic, but still far beyond my ability to create or conceive. Well, actually, no, not to conceive of, because that was the amazing part. The amazing part was that conception was all you needed. Conception is all you need. I think that's a John Lennon song or something. But yeah, like having that powerful experience where basically I spent 2 months using a very rudimentary form of AI. I don't even know if it was like GPT-3. I have no idea. That would be so interesting now to like look back into. Back then I was using it more as a sophisticated Google, just way better, But yeah, like the process of iteratively continuing to try and fail, but knowing what I wanted to see as an outcome, like it was crazy. Because like one of my friends, shout out to DeVault from MailChimp, he taught me something about software engineering at a certain point, which was like, it's good if you can kind of this is like, I feel like well, hey, I'll just say it as it is. To me, it was very impactful. But if you're having a problem, trying to, I guess, honestly break it down into first principles, like it's just a matter of like, if you can't solve the problem that you're trying to solve with your current solution, then you should simplify the thing that you're actually trying to solve. It seems like most things typically involve more than one variable. So if you can like focus on a different part of it or whatever it might be, like that was just monumental. And I really felt kind of shortchanged because I realized that well, actually, I remember I've had this feeling of being shortchanged, but then I actually reframed it in the moment. And I was like, actually, this is not being shortchanged. This is actually like the only way this could have ever happened. Because I was going to say, I feel shortchanged because I didn't go to college for this thing that I feel like I now am really, really interested in, right? But I would have never been interested in it in the past if it wasn't for this bridge, which is the use of AI. Now it feels like everything is open because it's like, it's not a matter of like having the idea and then translating that into code. Like now it's just like, you just have to have the idea. And then if you have any modicum of engineering capability within you, which I think all human beings do. I mean, hey, the funny thing, what did Dennis Leary say about smoking pot? He was like, I didn't stop smoking pot because I wanted to. I stopped because it involved too much building. He was saying, you'd always have to create some smoke device like through fruit or all these. It's a lot of engineering just to get high. And so, yeah, I mean, it's an amazing bridge to a world that's crazy. It's like, I don't even know. I was going to say it's like, well, I don't even know. There's too many metaphors that I feel like Notebook LM would say were logically inconsistent or categorically incorrect. Roasted, 425. Well, I wish I could talk more, but I can't. So I'll leave it there for now. Shout out to my parents. Love you. Bye.